Very good afternoon, students. You are welcome to online class of Oriental Public School. Today I am here with a video of class 9 Geography lesson 2. Your topic is physical features of India. In this video we are going to read about India and its different landmass, even the different features of each and every landmasses. As we know, India is a landform with varied. India is a land of varied landforms. Here we have all the major types of land masses or landforms that a region have, like plain, mountain, desert, islands, coastal plains. So like this, Indian landmass has been classified into 6 groups that we will gradually read one by one in this chapter. So your topic is, already I have told, physical features of India. So geographically, India can be divided into 5 major divisions, which are known by the Peninsular Plateau region, Northern Mountain region, the Northern Indian Plain region, the coastal region, the Indian island, and at last Indian desert. So these we are going to read in this chapter one by one, and even we will describe the features of this each and every land masses, what they are having as their characteristics. So before going to start this, we will have one short topic which is very important part of this chapter. So as you know, India is a vast country with varied landforms. Our country has practically all major physical features of the earth. For example, like mountains, plains, deserts, plateaus, and islands. So India is a large landmass formed during different geological periods, which has influenced her relief. Besides geological formations, a number of processes such as weathering, erosion, and deposition have created and modified the relief its present form. Means whatever we have India as a landmass and different forms of it, this is not the certain period formation. It has taken a large period of time to be formed and have its changes that we see today. So we are going to also describe some of the important points related to this topic. And very important point of this chapter is causes of plate movement. As you know, in your textbook there is a theory which is known as the theory of plate tectonic, and this theory was given by Alfred Wegener. According to this theory, the first layer of the earth crust is established on some major and minor tectonic plates. So when there is any upheaval or any changes in the tectonic plate and which cause certain movements, so that we are going to read according to this theory. So what are the main or major causes of these tectonic movements? So the main reason behind this movement is inside earth excessive heat. As you know, earth is consisting 3 layers: crust, mantle, and core. Crust is the first layer, mantle is the second layer, and core is the third layer. So as we go inside, the depth increases. So along with the increase of depth, the heat also increase, because the insolation of earth received intact inside. When the amount of this intact insolation increases, it changes the solid into liquid or semi-liquid, which creates a lot or huge amount of gases which uplift to dry, which tries to uplift outside the surface, and this cause a current called convectional current. So this convectional current is responsible for the movement, and this is called divergent. So due to this divergent, two more plate boundaries are formed, which are known as convergent and transform bonding. So initially we can say there are three plate boundaries: divergent, convergent and transform. So one by one we will talk about these three plate boundaries. The plates at our planet surface moves because of the intense heat in the Earth's core that cause molten rock in the mantle layer to move. It moves in a pattern called a convectional shell that forms when warm material rises, cool and eventually sink down. As the cooled materials sinks down, it warmed and raised again. The movement of these plates result in the building of the stress within the plates and the continental rock above, leading to the folding and faulting and volcanic activity. Folding and faulting are these two activities which also responsible for the movement of plates. So tectonic plate theory, already I have told. The tectonic plate theory describes the large scale motion of the earth lithosphere, and this theory is based on continental drift, which explains the formation of various continents over millions of years. The plate boundaries, based on the relative movement between two tectonic plates, there are three types of plate boundary. Already I have told you. So they are as follows: convergent plate boundary. In this case, two adjacent tectonic plates move toward each other and converge or collide fast. So due to this collision, different types of land masses are formed and happenings happen on the earth surface. And the next one is divergent. So divergent means diverge, when two tectonic plates diverge apart from each other and cause a fault, and this fault, out of this fault a lot of magma comes on the surface of earth from inside the earth. And the third one is the transform boundary. In this case, the two adjacent plates move along their borders. You can see the diagrams here. Three types of plate boundaries: divergent plate boundary, transform plate boundary and convergent plate boundary. By arrow you can recognize the movement of plate boundaries. The divergent and convergent plate boundaries take place in the horizontal strata, and only transform boundary is taken in the form of vertical strata. I hope you have understood this. So there are many hypotheses regarding the origin of Himalayas. However, there is almost a complete unanimity that Himalayan mountains have come out of a great geosyncline called the Tithi Sea. As you know, about 120 million years ago, there were only two big continents in the world. In the northern of Laurasia, this was the part of supercontinent. The northern part of called the Laurentia or Angara land, and the southern hemisphere was called as Gondwana land. And this Laurentia and Gondwana was the part of supercontinent Pangaea. And we are talking about this period almost 120 million years ago. There was only two parts of earth, one supercontinent and super ocean. Super ocean was known as Panthalassa. In between Laurentia and Gondwana land, there was a long, narrow and shallow sea called Tithi Sea. The sediments were brought by the rivers from these land masses and deposited in the beds of the sea. The sediments were adjusted to the powerful compression force from both the continents. So this compression squeezed and crushed the sediments to the Tithi, and series of faults were formed, one behind the other, giving rise to highest relief feature on the earth, the Himalayas. As we know, Himalayan mountain was formed due to the convergent plate boundary, and as you know, Indo-Australian plate and Eurasian plate collide to each other, and the formation of Himalaya took place. The curved shape of Himalayas convex to the south and attributed to the maximum push offered at the ends of the Indian peninsula during the northward drift. In the northwest, it was done by the Aravalli, and the southeast by the Assam ranges. So recent studies show that India is moving northward at the rate of 5 cm per year and crossing into rest of Asia, battling the Himalayas between Angara land and Gondwana land. This drift is providing instability to the Himalayan region. I hope you have understood up to here. Very soon I will come with the next video and take the topic continue. So be safe and study properly. Thank you. Have a nice day.